Well, good morning.
Well, good morning. How's everything going?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
I like that avatar you got there.
Oh, thank you. One second. Having a few little technical difficulties. Now, give me 1 second, team. My laptop just went completely crazy on me. 1 second. All right, team. Sorry about that. I had to just reconstruct this entire thing back over again. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. How's everybody doing this morning?
Great.
Going on, brother?
Great.
Man, life is good. Life is great. Let's go ahead and get it. So today is all about portfolio structure, portfolio management, and how to properly structure your portfolio for the oncoming markets that's happening very, very soon. A lot of people don't understand and realize the magnitude of what type of market we're actually entering in right now, the market that we're sitting in currently right now, and the depth of how bad this crash is getting ready to really, really happen in 2026. So they're getting ready to pump. The last time I checked, over $20 trillion into the market. 20 trillion, right? To give an example of why that's a bad idea, they've already mentioned that once we hit 41.7 trillion in debt, the dollar bill will collapse. Guess how far we are from that collapse?
Not
Right
far.
now we sit at
Less than 2
38.9
trillion,
trillion.
maybe?
Yeah. Right now we sit at $38.9 trillion. So for them to print $20 trillion, they're purposely collapsing the dollar bill even further. Our dollar bill is worth 99% less than it was 50 years ago.
Hmm.
Yeah. That 1% will collapse, completely dismantle and collapse the dollar bill. So this class today was all about teaching the proper structure of your portfolio, how to properly structure everything, how to, and on top of it, not to just structure, but how to manage everything, because not all asset classes are for just cash flow. Some asset classes are also for you just to sit your wealth in and let it gradually grow. All right. So this is a 3-year portfolio consulting blueprint. And you definitely can feel free to record this if you want to record this. The foundation of wealth transformation. Everything right now is converting over into a system of wealth transformation. And I do mean everything. From the smallest markets to the largest consolidated markets, everything is converting over into a space of wealth. Everything is converting from one system over to the next system. Blockchain being the perfect system now. Crypto being a new avenue. Tokenization being the main component, the main concept of converting everything over. So what this course is set to do is prepare you for not this bull market run, but for the 2028 bull market run. All right. So this is a 3-year journey. The first year is all about building that foundation, building that perfect structure, locking in with discipline, and accumulating a strategic plan across multiple different asset classes. Those asset classes being crypto, stocks. We're going to dabble into precious metals just a little bit today. This is also considered in real estate. But in order for us to dive into real estate, you have to be an MMG student. All right. But also just a conglomerate of different assets that actually put you in a position to actually build wealth in this upcoming market. All right. Growth, scale what works, eliminate what does not, and leverage opportunities with strategic precision. Right. Protection. Oftentimes we worry too much about getting the bag. Oftentimes we worry too much about getting the money, getting cash flow, but we don't worry about the actual protection of our assets. So we're going to talk about protection gains, how to protect your gains, and how to protect your gains to build that generational wealth systems. Year 1, the foundation, accumulation. So the first plan in building your foundation is coming up with a plan of action, a plan of motion, how to properly structure that plan, how to properly build that bag. Now, most people think we build that bag by way of futures trading, right? Y'all unmute your calls. Let's have a conversation. Most people think we build that, especially in the BBA, think we build that structure about just by diving into the futures markets. That's the furthest thing from the truth. The way you properly build your foundation is on dollar cost averaging, by way of dollar cost averaging, not into just cryptocurrency, but premium stocks and also precious metals. This is what we want to consider when we are forming our decentralized, write this down, the decentralized deflationary bag, our decentralized deflationary asset bag. So let's go ahead and write down the cryptocurrencies and stocks I want you to start diving into. Now, I know before when we did portfolio consulting, we always talked about a bunch of different meme coins. We talked about a lot of different altcoins that are being, prevalent in the market. We've completely dismantled that structure now because now we want our main focus, our main goal to be on premium cryptocurrency assets only. I'm going to tell you what's getting ready to occur, people. The altcoin season isn't coming. All right? It's not coming. No. Altcoin season is not coming. Meme coins, not coming. A lot of the institutional money, they're putting their dollar bills, they're putting their hard-earned money into premium cryptocurrency assets. All right. Bitcoin, right now, Bitcoin is 84K. 84K. I'm sure everybody felt the burn from that huge drop from 125, right?
Yes.
All right. I got one brave person. Anybody else feel the burn?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all want to hear something crazy? I'm down $3.8 million over the last 3 weeks.
Wow.
3.8 million. 3.8 million. I definitely feel the burn, right? But I'm down from gained profits, from profits that compounded over time. I'm not down in my whole bag because of how early I actually got into cryptocurrency by building systems like the one we're getting ready to build today. So the first thing I want you to do is start dollar cost averaging these 20 premium cryptocurrencies. Now I had this all put in the PDF, but I had to redo it on ChatGPT real quick because my PDF isn't working right. All right. So the first one, we're going to dive into Bitcoin. Right now is a premium time. We see Bitcoin getting down to as low as $78,802. Side note, that is a perfect entry point to get in. And it's damn near identical to the entry point we got in when Bitcoin rallied up to 125 the last time when we did the Thinking of a Master Plan Part 2 in May. So on the future side, you definitely want to dive in at that price point, try to rally the market way back up because that's where the demand is. That's where all the buys are. That's what that's what the support is, to ride that market way back up. But you also want to dive into that premium price point to start dollar cost averaging. Because imagine how much your money will compound, not over the next couple of years, over the next few months when we start heading back over towards that 120, 150. Make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Here's a sleeping giant that a lot of people ain't talking about. Ethereum. Ethereum is down to $2,700. Yeah. At one point, Ethereum was almost $5,000. Here's the thing. Ethereum is probably gonna get down to roughly around 2605. That's the perfect buy-in price for you to get into Ethereum, ride that market wave up on the future side and on the dollar cost average side. All right. Crazy part about Ethereum is I remember when Ethereum was less than $20. All right. Got in less than $20. You're going to remember when Ethereum was $2,700. You're going to remember when the Ethereum was $2,700. But the people who are not dollar cost averaging in now, they will be wishing they bought in at the price point that you're buying in right now in the next 3 years. Because Ethereum was it's looking like Ethereum is going towards 25K within the next 3 years. All right. Now, this is another one. This is for you to store your funds. USDT, or Tether. Tether is not a fast moving. Tether doesn't move at all. Tether stays around the 99 to 101 mark, point blank period. But Tether is deflationary. So Tether is used as a staple to hold your funds, to hold the value of your funds, versus actually being used as a cash flow instrument. All right. USDC is the same thing. Top three. This is where you just want to hold your funds. When you do get into those meme coin plays, let's say we're still holding Brent, we're still holding Popcat, we're still holding those type of meme coins. You want to start taking profits and putting those profits back into USDT, USDC, so it can hold the value. Make sense?
Yes.
I know a lot of y'all are still holding those coins, correct? I'm still holding those coins. So with the altcoin season being at a complete end right now, because they're reverting everything over, you want to just take your profits and put your profits into these different avenues. Now, here is a sleeping giant, BNB. Everybody's talking about Ethereum. Everybody's talking about Solana. You hardly hear anybody talking about BNB. But BNB is setting themselves up to have some of the biggest partnerships in crypto history. Right? BNB is going towards $3,300 to $3,500 per BNB token. Per BNB token. This is an asset. I'm gonna give y'all a blueprint on BNB. I'll give y'all a small synopsis on BNB. BNB started out at 7 cents. Today, BNB is almost $1,000 per BNB token, heading towards 3,000, heading towards potential 5,000 within the next 5 to 8 years. This is definitely one that you don't want to miss out on, BNB. XRP goes without saying. XRP is heading back down towards that 140 mark, 140, 130 mark. That means what, people?
Bye.
Buy, buy, buy. Buy, buy, and buy. Right now, I know the market looks scarce. I know the market looks harsh. But remember our favorite saying from the best investor of all, my favorite investor of all time, Warren Buffett: when there's blood in the streets, that's when you buy. XRP is a premium price right now. XRP is also going to your dollar cost average bag. Cardano, some of the biggest partnerships in crypto, especially on the tech side. They are even in talks with NVIDIA right now. Cardano is also premium. Solana goes without saying. Solana's heading back down towards that 112 mark, potentially $96 mark. That's definitely the avenue that you want to be buying into right around that point. All right. BUSD. BUSD is Binance's stablecoin. All right. You use BUSD for the same purpose you use USDT and USDC for. It's all about holding that value, holding that wealth. Here's a sleeping giant that a lot of people stop talking about. Polkadot. Anybody remember Dot?
Mm-hmm.
Haven't heard about Dot in a while, right?
Nope.
What if I told you that Dot is talking about going ISO 222? They're in talks to go ISO, which will automatically propel Dot into that space. Remember, Dot, ADA, Cardano, Solana, and Avalanche, all, which Avalanche is on this list as well too, all came around the same point, the same time. Those are all level 2 blockchains. All right? They all move in the same motion, kind of like XRP and XLM. All right. So Dot is definitely a sleeping giant that has been sleeping for a while that will blow the hell up in the very, very near future. Now, we do have two meme coins on this list. The two top premium meme coins. Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. Those will be the two of maybe top 5 meme coins that will actually survive the altcoin drop. Because those two meme coins have the top communities of any meme coin. The other 3 are Brent, Pepe, and potentially PopCap. All right. See how we're restructuring everything towards premiums now? This is your wealth building bag. All right. We also have Polygon. Polygon is also a part of that level 2 class with Cardano, Solana, AVAX. All right. Uniswap and CyberSwap. Those two are 2 of the top DeFi tokens that we're going to dive back into as well. The DeFi market is the market of 2028. Decentralized financing is the market of 2028. All right. Cosmos, Atom. Atom is also level 2. Stellar Lumens. Stellar Lumens has one of the biggest partnerships out of any of these cryptocurrencies right now, period. Because Stellar is they literally just signed a contract with, the UN. So, where we thought that XRP was going to be the world facilitator of transactions via the SWIFT system, it's not. It's going to be Stellar Lumens. XRP will be the system that will be built off the brick systems. So XRP and XLM are literally at a war right now for the first time because they've always ran side by side. They've always ran, evasive of each other. But for the first time, these two are actually at some type of war right now to see who's going to be that top facilitator. Make sense, team?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Let's start restructuring our portfolios. Let's get away from all those shit coins and start refocusing our portfolios for wealth building.
Question, Cliff.
Yes.
So, for these 20, is there any, would you say DCA evenly? Like, let's say you just build a basket of these. Would you just allocate like 5% to each one in the basket, or would you have a different weighting?
I have a breakdown at the end of the course, but
Okay.
when it comes down to these 20, anything outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, I would put, let's say you have $100, right? And you want to allocate $100 per week. Now, this is all predicated on you putting $10,000 in the market over the next 10 to 15,000 over the next 2 to 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely this year, $10,000 a year over the next 3 years, so 30,000 in total. Which everybody should be able to do that. Every single last one of y'all.
Yes.
Let's say you have $100, all right? And I'm just gonna break it down to $100 figure. 40% of that $100, 20% need to go into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Point blank, period. The rest you want to disperse evenly between the rest, the other 20. But the top dogs, Bitcoin, Ethereum, should get at least 40% of that $100. $40 out of that $100.
Okay.
Now, part of our DCA bag is also stocks. Tech stocks, to be more exact. Now, I'm going to do another portfolio consulting session sometime next year. And we'll be talking about the next sectors that's getting ready to take over the entire planet, which is life longevity stocks, meaning stocks that prolong life, and quantum computing stocks. That's what's going to pop off in the next 5 to 10 years. That's the next .com era that nobody's talking about. Have y'all heard anybody talking about it?
Not the longevity ones.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Quantum computing and life longevity stocks. Those are the next two biggest industries. That's the next big .com industry. And also the metaverse. All right. So for right now, we're going to talk about the top 10 tech stocks I want you to dive into. Now, these are all tanking right now, by the way. So you're getting in at premium prices. I couldn't have done this class any better in a better time because everything is tanking. Truth be told, NVIDIA, which is the top one, it's the only stock that's actually holding the stock market up from complete crash, a complete fall, complete plummet. So NVIDIA is probably going to dip down into the low 100s. That's the time to start buying NVIDIA. We got Apple. Apple isn't going anywhere. As long as they're an iPhone, Apple ain't going anywhere. All right. So Apple right now is $271. They're talking about doing a potential stock split for Apple again, too. We'll definitely keep you informed on that one. All right. Microsoft is one of the top tech corporations of all time. It's not going anywhere. These are also what we consider defensive stocks. All right. Stocks that actually pay dividends. All right. We got Google. Google isn't going anywhere at all. Amazon, Meta, Facebook. They just blocked me yesterday. We ain't gonna talk about that. But Facebook, they actually just want Mark Zuckerberg just won a lawsuit yesterday to take over people to illegally or to legally now take over your data from your Facebook account again. And on the day they won that lawsuit, he actually got acquitted from that case. He started taking down people's Facebook's account. Mine being one included. I know 3 other people whose Facebook account got banned yesterday. All right. So be wary of what you post because they're going after people now. All right. Broadcom, Tesla, all right, TSM, and Oracle. These are all the top defensive tech stocks that I want you to start buying into. Now, with the market falling, you'll be able to get these stocks at premium prices. All right. If you're looking for brokers to actually start buying stocks, do not go to Robinhood. If you have to, go to one of those type of brokers. Go to Webull. Webull is okay, but I would definitely suggest you dive into a premium broker like Charles Schwab, like E-Trade, those type of brokers. A lot of these stocks you can also go into your 401k if you have the ability to go into your 401k and actually make changes to what you invest in. You can also invest into a lot of these with your 401k, which will put you in a better position. Right.
Flip, after you told us that before, I went in and looked in mine, and I can't pick them individually, but I did look in the portfolios of the funds that are in my 401k. So I made sure I picked the funds that have the portfolios with these in it.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I know that they have some loopholes you can actually get around and start doing a little bit, here and there. Some people, especially with a pension, you can outright just invest in whatever you want to invest in with most pensions, but 401ks work a little different.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So everybody got your top 10 and your top 20 cryptos?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right. Bitcoin Foundation, Ethereum ecosystem, strategic positioning, right? Dollar cost averaging through those swing dips. You're going to dollar cost average for the next 3 years, regardless of what the market is doing. No matter what the market is doing, every week, bi-weekly, or monthly, depending on how you get paid, I want you dollar cost averaging those coins. All right. disperse it between each one of them. Dive into the stocks. The stocks will be a little bit harder for you to dollar cost average because a lot of those stocks are, they're up there in prices. But the ones you can dollar cost average, start buying those shares. This is all to protect you. Your core portfolio, core crypto portfolio setup is supposed to be 40 to 50% of your portfolio. Now, the reason we're investing in the certain types of stocks is because these are the next sectors that's getting ready to take over the planet. These are the next sectors that host the most of the liquidity or the liquid of the stock market. All right. These are the top tech leaders, the top innovators, people who are actually making moves, who are actually building things for the betterment of the future. All right. You diversify by diving into each different stock sector by way of what they're building. Like, for instance, NVIDIA is all about computer chips when it comes down to AI tech. Everything, or all of them in general, are going towards AI tech. But Google is more so about the interface, right? About building systems to host data. So you also you're diving into different aspects of the tech world. All right. So, like I said, the next revolution of things we'll be talking about next year will be quantum computing. Quantum computing is one of the biggest, I can't say this enough, it's one of the biggest topics of 2028. Quantum computing is getting ready to take over everything, literally everything. Every internet system, every data system, database system, it's everything. Quantum computing can move so fast it can actually go back into the negative. All right. And I will be on this call like literally for the next 2 to 3 days if I was to tell y'all everything quantum computing has entailed. All right. So definitely look into quantum computing. All right. Life expansion, a biotech. This is the next big industry. Everybody's looking for the fountain of youth right now. Everybody's looking to see how they could expand their life to live infinitely. Everything. The defense sector. Now, these are stocks that we'll be looking into, especially in the BBA and especially in the MMG. Because when markets crash, when chaos happens, when money dries up, what happens? What happens to society when things become chaotic?
Riots, a lot more crime.
Riots, crime rates skyrocket through the roof. So another sector that is kind of a touchy subject, but defense, weaponry stocks like Smith and Wesson, prison stocks, because when crime rates go up, prisons go up. All right, it is what it is. All right. Also, foundational ETFs, a conglomerate of different stocks that we can buy at one time via buying into ETFs. Now, this is going to be more so crypto ETFs, Solana ETFs, which are being released soon, Ethereum ETFs, and Bitcoin ETFs. Precious metals. Now, when the world is in chaos, when everything is going to hell, notice how billionaires and millionaires start pulling their funds out of the stock market and they put their money where? Precious metals. So, to dive into precious metals, we need to know exactly how much you want to allocate towards your portfolio. So, precious metals should be 10 to 15% of your portfolio. 10 to 15%. Now, a lot of people will tell you to buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. You're seeing it everywhere, right? Buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. Truth be told, the better asset to buy isn't gold, it's silver. 2 reasons. Silver is being depleted from the planet right now because literally everything we use electronic-wise has some form of silver in it. So when it comes down to the longevity or the longevity of your portfolio, your precious metal portfolio, you want to dive into silver more so than gold. I'm not saying don't buy gold at all. I'm saying, yeah, buy gold, but gold is expensive. Buy silver because you're going to get the better bang for your buck by buying silver. Here's a site I want you to go to start buying silver. AP Mix. All right. Now there's a special formula to buying silver. You want to buy silver to stack, not silver because it looks pretty. Like for instance, you see this Christmas silver right here, this beaver. You don't want this. This 1 ounce silver coin is $449 because it looks nice. This is the one you want to buy right here. 1 ounce Canadian maple leaf. I'm gonna tell you just how fast silver is moving. Let me tell you just how fast silver is moving. This same coin was $26 this time last year. 26. 2 years before that, you can buy the same coin for roughly around $13. 10 years before that, you can buy the same coin for $8. You see how gradually it's growing? What do you think the same silver coin will be in the next 2 years?
$100.
Potentially, yeah. Ask yourself this question. What do you think your dollar bill will be worth in the next 2 years?
It'll be gone with that 41.7 trillion.
If you would have put, I'm gonna tell you just how fast silver is moving. If you would have put $10,000 into a bank account in 2015, 10 years ago, that $10,000 would only be worth around $4,300 in buying power right now. But if you just put that same $10,000 into silver 10 years ago, when silver was what, $13 an ounce? Now it's almost $60 an ounce. Look how much growth you've made over that 10-year period. So what's the better method of saving? Saving your money in a banking system or putting your money into silver?
Silver.
Absolutely.
Silver.
Absolutely. So we have to reconstruct the way we look at saving. We have to reconstruct the way we look at investing. You know, we invest into assets for our money to grow, not for our money to decline. If you put $1 million in the market tomorrow, that $1 million is not going to be worth $1 million in the next 10, 15 days because we're literally losing 7% every single week now. Which means you can put $1 million cash in the bank tomorrow. A month from now, you won't have $1 million in buying power. If you don't even touch it, you won't have $1 million in buying power. You'll go from being a millionaire to 100,000 simply just by holding money in the bank. Now tell me that's not crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely crazy.
So buy silver. Get the site down, buy silver, buy silver. How are we looking so far, team? We good?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, I know we talk a lot about futures in the Blockchain Bureau Academy. We talk a lot about futures in MMG. Futures, it should be the smallest aspect of your portfolio. All right. We become futures heavy, future happy in the BBA. Well, all we talk about is futures, and that's my fault because we push futures for the most part. But we have to get back to what we really, really do to build wealth, and that is dollar cost averaging. I did not become a crypto millionaire from futures trading. Truth be told, futures is very new to my portfolio because the futures market is new to the world. It's only 4 years old. People become crypto millionaires by dollar cost averaging. People become millionaires in general by setting up systems to always funnel money directly into assets via dollar cost averaging, whether it's stock market, whether it's precious metals, whether it's the future, the traditional, you have to dollar cost average into the market. And it's not going to happen overnight. It happens over the span of time. But 2-3 years to sacrifice the dollar cost averaging for you to have a successful life, to be completely financially free for the next 50 years, I think that's worth the sacrifice to you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the sacrifice. Now, the way you look at futures trading is your everyday money. This is what you do every day to try to make money, to make money or try to make funds so that you can pay your household expenses. Dollar cost averaging is where you build your wealth. Now, if you don't want to be a futures day trader, do it as a hobby, right? Or don't do it at all, but always build a dollar cost average bag. Right? But I want us to reconstruct the way we look at the futures markets. You look at the futures market the same way you look at the Forex market. If you're in it, you go full throttle and you go deep in it, and you do it to the fullest extent. If you're half-assing it, you're gonna get half-assed results. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all can attest to that, right?
Yes.
The market is very unforgiving. It will hand you your ass. All right. So we're going to establish a system of futures trading. All right. When you're trading futures, I want you from now on to stick to 1 to 3 plays. I want you to find your most consistent trades that you dive into in the futures markets. 1 to 3 trades. And I only want you trading those 1 to 3 trades. Don't try to go for the gusto on every single trade you get into. Remember, the key to the game in futures trading is consistency. Consistency. Consistency leads to profits. Gambling leads to losses. All right? Now, year 1 is all about mindset. Here's something that a lot of people don't utilize when it comes down to investing in general. Most people don't utilize personal and business credit. Now, if you're looking for people to get you into the personal and business credit game, trust me, believe me, I have people that I can send your way. They'll definitely get your personal and your business credit going. All right, we're doing this in the MMG as a group, as a whole. But when you have access to credit, when you have access to personal or business credit, it gives you that liquid that you need to be more successful in the markets. Let me ask y'all a question. If you have access to $10,000 cash right now to trade futures, or before you even get into that, how easy it is for you to make 10% in the futures market?
Yeah, it's simple. Simple. Easy.
10%. Just 10%. Anybody else? Pretty easy if you make 10%?
What was your question?
How easy is it for you to make 10% trading futures? Just 10%. For one person, it's easy for one person?
You could make it in a matter of minutes.
Minutes. If you had access to $10,000, what's 10% of $10,000?
1,000.
So if you can make 10% in a matter of minutes, what's stopping you from having $10,000 and making 10% on that, making $1,000 a day? This is the reason why you use personal and business credit to get funds up. And imagine if you got a $10,000 loan and you knew you can consistently make $10,000, you can pay that $10,000 loan back in a matter of what? 10 days, 6 days, 7 days. And now you have $10,000 to trade with that you can make $1,000 a week, $1,000 a day depending on how you want to move in the markets. You see, it's all about just moving zeros. If you can learn how to make $10 on $100 a day, you can make $1,000 on $10,000 a day. And you do that by building these levels of systems up to build that capital up. And trusting yourself enough to know that you can actually do it. That's the hardest part, truth be told.
True.
My top student right now makes $3,700 a day. Anywhere between $3,700 to $4,200 a day. And she did it because she got her personal credit, and she took out a $10,000 loan and she learned how to make 10% a day. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's all about setting up systems that continuously flow to you. If you can be satisfied with 10, 15%, you can set up an everlasting system that will always continuously pay you. But it's when we get greedy, it's when we get our asses into us. And trust me, I'm guilty of it myself. I'm guilty of it myself. Right? I've been guilty of it as well. It's only when we get greedy.
Yeah, I would win more trades if I would just be satisfied with taking a little less, 20%, 30% maybe, rather trying to go for 50, 60, 70, 100%.
Absolutely. Trust me, I understand. All right. So now we have our systems set in place. Growth and leverage your systems. Growth and leverage your systems. Dollar cost average. Weekly if you get paid weekly, bi-weekly if you get paid bi-weekly, monthly if you get paid monthly. Leverage those systems. And the biggest part about all of this is discipline. Discipline, 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 discipline. Having the discipline to say, I'm not going out today. Having the discipline to say, I'm not going to eat that McDonald's. Having the discipline to say, I'm not going to go see that movie. Having the discipline to say, I'm not going to that club. Like I said, I lost 1.6 million in the last 48 hours. Do you think I went out last night? Nope. Do you think I will be going out anymore this year? Absolutely not. Hell no. Almost 4 million in the last 3 weeks. No. It's all about having the discipline to use the things that we love the most, to sacrifice those things to put you in a position to ride the market wave out for the next 2 to 3 years. All right. Now, crypto portfolio growth phase. Your portfolio is going to grow in phases. It's not going to be a one-stop shop. All right. It's not going to be, I have $100, I'm putting it in every 2 weeks. Usually what happens, and this is happening with multiple students, all the students, every student who ever became a crypto millionaire under my mentorship, it always happened the same way. You start off with $100 a week. Guess what? That $100 a week is very, very comfortable. It starts to become a part of your lifestyle. Now you put in 200. 200 turns into 400. 400 turns into 500. So you always want to go in it with a sense of, I'm going to add more. Because the more you see your portfolio grow, the more value you see in your portfolio, the more money you're going to add in. And you're going to keep adding and keep adding and keep adding. All right. So what I'm saying is, don't always stick with the same plan. When you see you get to a point to where you can do more, but never do less. All right. Any questions so far?
No, this is really good.
No problem. Now, adding a stock expansion strategy. Your stocks are going to hit different than your cryptocurrencies. Point blank. Stocks are not going to move as fast. They're not. All right. But the way you move in the stock market is you're holding that wealth value. You're converting cash flow over from the other bags to just hold the value in the stock market. All right. Now, periodically, we do run into some stocks that actually just shoot through the roof. You will be able to capitalize on those type of stocks as well if you would dive into the stock game, extensively. But for the most part, when it comes down to our tech stocks, they're always going to have slow but consistent growth. Everything does not have to be a boom, 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 bam. Oh, I just made $1 million tomorrow. You always want different systems to grow your money in different ways. The same thing with your precious metals bag. Now, if you were in the MMG, we'll be talking about real estate preparation. I've already been looking at many different properties. We've already have our plan set for the MMG, so we're not going to speak on real estate. But real estate investing should definitely be a part of your investment strategy. All right. Now let's talk about one of the biggest detriments to any portfolio. Most people think it's the loss, right? I'm gonna tell you from personal experience, one of the biggest hard-hitting things that will ever happen to you is for you to make profits. That's crazy, right? One of the worst things that can happen to you, dealing with the mentality behind it, not the fact that it's happening, is for you to make profits. And here's why. Most people, I'm just gonna be for real, most people have never seen $100,000 in profit. Hell, most people have never seen $10,000 in profit. So having the right mentality, once you get to a level, once your portfolio grows to a certain level, let's say, for instance, you got in today, you started dollar cost average today, and by June of next year, you've dollar cost average so much that now you have 35,000 sitting in the bank. You have 35,000 sitting in your portfolio, 45,000 sitting in your portfolio. But you've been driving the same car for the last 10 years. You've been driving the same Honda Accord for the last 10 years, but you got 35,000 sitting in your portfolio. What do you think most people would do?
Go and buy a new car.
To get a new car.
They're going to get the new car.
Mm.
Well, I can just take a little bit out of here. I can take a little bit out of there and just I can always put it back. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. That little bit is gonna turn into a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. And next thing you know, your portfolio is no longer 35,000. You only got $5,000 left in your portfolio. Has that ever happened to anybody? Be honest.
I'm gonna be honest. No, I've been driving my car for 15 years. I'm not keeping up with the Joneses.
You have the right
Trying to build that.
mentality.
I'm trying to build that portfolio.
You have the right
Same.
mentality. But
I
do you
mean,
know
for
how many
me,
students?
the
Huh?
thought has come not for a new car, but I said, no, not at all. Don't do it.
Trust me. I'm gonna tell you a story behind me. When I first 2017, I have a picture I took in October of 2017. This is right before Bitcoin just took off and put me into the crypto millionaire mark. And the shirt says billionaire mindset. I'm gonna post that picture. Well, I can't post it on Facebook. I'm gonna post that picture on Instagram. Right before that picture, I literally only had maybe 40K in the bank and 40K in my portfolio. After that picture, when Bitcoin shot through the roof in November, December 2017, I instantly went to being worth almost $3 to $4 million. Right? And I act like a brother who ain't never had anything. I went plumb crazy. I traveled to all different types of countries. I bought an X5, then I bought another X5. I bought a 7-bedroom house, got it built from the ground up on 1.5 acres of land, bought the biggest lot in the neighborhood. I went crazy. And I looked up one day and I was literally like $10,000 from not being a millionaire anymore. And that brought me back to reality. Right? It brought me back to reality. Because I thought, I can just pull from here and I can just pull from there. No. Stick to the plan. I don't care if you got 35,000. I don't care if you got 10 million. Stick to your plan. Once your goal is hit, set the next goal. Stick to the plan. That car can wait, because guess what? The next 5 years, it's gonna be another car that you're gonna want. It's gonna be another house you want to buy. Stick to the plan.
True.
Exit strategies, profit-taking zones. Listen, execute strategies for exits on certain different cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP. These are what we call predetermined price targets. Right? What is your price point to exit out on XRP? What is your price point to exit out on Bitcoin? What is your price point to exit out? What price point are you comfortable with exiting out? All right? If we say XRP is going to get to $125 per XRP token within the next 3 to 5 years, what price point would you be comfortable exiting out on? Would you wait to that 125? Or would you be comfortable exiting out with a $50 XRP token? So these are conversations you have to have with yourself. Because on the flip side, you also have to be comfortable if that price goes above that. And you pull it out. Case in point, at a max level, XRP can hit $585 per XRP token. I've been saying the same price point for years. I've been saying the same price point since 2018. I am completely comfortable with pulling out my entire XRP bag when XRP is $220 per XRP token. That will put me in a price point to where I am comfortable and I can live and do everything I want to do with my XRP bag. What's your price point? I got a raised hand. What's going on?
Hey, Clip. So how do you square that with the thought process that we don't sell our Bitcoin, right? You say keep buying Bitcoin, never sell it. But if we're also thinking of when is our cash out point, how do you square those two thought processes?
So Bitcoin is completely different from cryptocurrencies. You can't really even call Bitcoin a cryptocurrency because Bitcoin is stored wealth value, unlike other cryptocurrencies. So when it comes down to never buying, never selling my Bitcoin, it's because I can leverage against my Bitcoin. Now, eventually you'll be able to leverage against your XRP as well too. And you can get to a point to where you say, I would never sell my XRP. But Bitcoin being stored wealth value, it puts me in this place to where it's like almost like holding real estate. I'm not going to sell this real estate investment property if it's always continuously producing for me. Versus XRP has a cap. It'll get to a certain point to where it's no longer producing for me. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I was muted. My bad.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you, though.
No problem. Yeah. So with everything that we buy, XRP, Ethereum, Solana, you may even have a price point for Bitcoin. With everything that we buy, come up with that strategy, not the strategy, but come up with the plan to exit. Okay, cool. I am comfortable getting out of XRP when XRP hits $220. I am comfortable getting out of Ethereum when Ethereum hits $12,000. I am comfortable getting out of Solana when Solana hits $1,000 per Solana token. Now, correction positioning. Sometimes the market does do major drops, like how Bitcoin dropped from 125, died back down to 89, to 84,000. Now, correction positioning is all about when did you buy in? All right. Let's say you did, and this is about bulk buying, not dollar cost average buying. Let's say, for instance, you got happy for whatever reason and you bought Bitcoin at $115,000. You bought one Bitcoin, right? Would it be smart when you seen Bitcoin crashing down towards that 105? Would it be smart for you to continue letting the market ride down and you never sell your Bitcoin? Or would it be smart to sell your Bitcoin at 105 and then wait till the Bitcoin bottoms out at 84,000 and buy back at 84,000? That would be the smart move, correct?
Well,
Sometimes
you run
you have
the risk of, right? Say you got your entry point, your buy, your limit order at 84,000, and hypothetically it stopped at 90 and went back up, right? Then you've lost value. And then it, say it goes back up to 120 and you sold at 105, now you've lost value in it.
Absolutely. There's always a risk factor in it. But we see a clear bottom, especially how we seen Bitcoin go to 99,000 and then we drop down. Okay, cool. If it goes to 99, it's probably gonna go down to 84,000. Or go down to 89,000. Once it hit 89,000. So it's all about reading the patterns of the market as well, too. And there's always going to be a risk factor in it. But sometimes the smarter move is to dump and buy back at the bottom. Another thing I do, and I've done this twice already. I'm not doing it this bull market run. But usually when the bull market run ends, we don't have a clear ending at this time. But usually when it ends, I dump all of my cryptocurrency or majority of my cryptocurrency. I wait for the market to bottom out, and then I buy everything back and double my positions. Now, that was for previous bull market runs. I don't think we can do the same thing in this one. Absolutely not. I wouldn't trust it. Because technically, this bull market run should have been over with in April. Technically. But when you buy a bulk amount of something, always look, not always, but sometimes look to see where you can reposition at a better position. And sometimes you might get your ass handed to you. But oftentimes you can get back in a better position and have even more cryptocurrency on top of it.
Makes sense.
All right. Now, asset reallocation. Now, this is for that's what we talked about with the USDT and the USDC. This is for when you get into more riskier coins. Those riskier meme coins that I know a lot of us still hold. Once those coins get to a certain plateau where you've actually made a certain amount of profit, that's when you want to allocate those funds to something else. All right. And building that generational portfolio. Start building the long-term, multi-cycle generational cryptocurrency portfolio. That's what we're building here today. Stock market wealth protection. It's always about risk reduction. Risk reduction is buying into the same type of stocks we're talking about, blue chip, tech stocks, dividend paying stocks. Retirement plan is all around. It's not just stocks, it's stocks, crypto, and precious metals today. All right. Some of the stocks that we mentioned have quarterly income, quarterly dividend payments. What should you do with those quarterly dividend payments? Should you take those quarterly dividend payments and go out here and buy you a nice jacket or buy you a nice expensive ring or something? Or should you take those quarterly dividend payments and actually reinvest it right back into your portfolio? All right. It's all dealing with discipline. Discipline. All right. And stable assets. Stable assets are a lot of the assets we talked about today. That's why I would say we're reconstructing our entire portfolio. Yeah. So this, in a nutshell, is all about recession-proofing yourself, making you recession-proof, making sure that you have multiple asset classes that's going to help you defeat inflation and help you push forward so that you will be in a better position once we get back into the upcoming markets, going into year 2028. All right, we do that through crypto. We do that through stocks, a little bit of futures trading, building business credit, precious metals, and of course, real estate investing. All right. So 6 asset classes, 36 months of discipline. All right, and it helps you build one legacy portfolio, one legacy generational wealth building portfolio. It's all about discipline. It's all about being a disciplined, confident, multi-market investor, not just a single market investor, a multi-market investor. This will help you diversify and strategically put you in place to build that wealth. All right, do you have any questions, team?
If I don't have a question, I'll just say this. I read a book about, oh man, who's the wealthiest guy? Anyway, he made $84 billion is his net worth, and he made 80 of it after he turned 64. He continuously invested from the time he was 10 until.
Oh, you mean Warren Buffett?
Yeah,
Warren Buffett. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. I know, but yeah, Warren Buffett, right? So it's just about consistency. I started with Cliff in 2019. I had $2,000 in some crypto on a Robinhood account, and I'm sitting now at 120K in my account here 5 years later. I'm just starting to dive into the futures, and it's just about the consistency, guys. Just keep with it. Don't get discouraged. Reach out to all the coaches. They're super helpful. It's just a great thing that we're doing here.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Thanks for that testimony, bro. I appreciate it. Absolutely, man. It's all about discipline. It's all about discipline. If you can sacrifice for 3 years, you can set yourself up for the next 50. And what's your why? Why do you want to do this? Always stick with that why. My purpose for doing this was to enrich the lives of my children. All right. To make sure my children never had to want for anything. And I'm successful in that. So what's your why? You speak on it now. What's your why? Why do you want to do this?
Same reason. My portfolio is primarily for my son's financial future.
If you know your why, You always stick by that why. Stick by the why. All right, we have any questions? Did y'all enjoy the presentation?
Yes, very good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's a good
Excellent.
presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been working on this. I wanted to reconstruct it the way we do things because oftentimes we get caught in the sauce of everything that's going on with cryptocurrency and we forget the basics. The basics is what puts billions in your pockets. And side note about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett actually came from a very poor, extremely poor family. But his father taught him the foundation of investing. Even when he had absolutely nothing, he taught him how to invest. All right. Y'all have any questions and concerns? Feel free to hit me up. If not, y'all have a blessed and beautiful Saturday.
Thank you,
as
Cliff.
well.
Thank you. You too.
No problem. Talk to y'all later.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
No problem.